unusually enough. I'm going to start with the Sun. John sorted World Cup final for Dáil Quiz TD. This is a Fianna Fail TD who paid €1,806 for the privilege to go to the World Cup final. And his name is Kevin O'Keefe, and he's also a member of the Oireachtas committee that is going to be asking John Delaney all these questions coming up. So I just want to bring you this bit. Speaking to the Irish Sun, O'Keefe said he didn't see a problem with getting tickets from Delaney and asked, how else would I get a World Cup final ticket? It's a very good question. How else would a TD get a World Cup final ticket other than from the leader of the FAI, who it's your job as a member of the sports committee to hold to account? I don't blame John Delaney for giving you tickets, by the way. I absolutely don't, because when a TD asks you for tickets and you're in a position to somehow exert some influence, of course you're going to have to do that. But now you've got to pay him back. That's what has to happen there, and you've got to pay him back by giving him an easy ride at the Oireachtas committee, because that's how these things work, buddy. I just want to bring you this one as well, because it may well be the tab of the morning/year. Everybody knows A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, I did notice that when he held it up there.
He's the highest paid baseball player of all time at one point for the Yankees. I think he had a $250 million contract at one stage. Married to J-Lo. And the headline, and it's a Showbiz exclusive on the front of the Irish Sun, J-Lo's fella showed me his A-Rod. Tab of the morning to you. We can come back to the rest of the...
Are you just going to leave that hanging there?
I mean, I think everybody knows what the implication is, isn't it?
Well, I thought you'd actually go into some detail in the story. I must catch up on that later on now.
Okay. Owen demands some prurient details, all the way to page 23, which is LeBron James and... I'm not going to link LeBron, David Beckham and...
Michael Jordan.
To this. A Playboy playmate says love rat Alex Rodriguez begged her for a threesome just weeks before he proposed to J-Lo. Glamour model Zoe Gregory alleges the baseball star bombarded her with sleazy texts and sent a picture of his manhood. That's his A-Rod. Sorry, the back page of the Sun this morning. A ballsy move. There's a theme developing there. Mick rallies fans to serve up ace atmosphere. They also have a picture of him with a tennis racket on the front. You cannot be serious. Good man Mick McCarthy playing this like a seasoned media dream. He's just kind of laughing it all off. I mean, it is the most goo-boo week that Mick McCarthy has had since 2002, and that's saying quite a lot. Like, it really is. He must be looking at this going... in fairness, the joke about needing a large door for the nameplate for the executive vice president and the tennis racket, it's like, whatever you think about him as a manager, he's a genius when it comes to the press. There he is, sitting beside already. Look, there's a look of love from John Delaney there. We've got a picture of the two of them when the announcement was made. You go next.
Yeah, the Irish Daily Mail has "It's time to go." Quinn calls on Delaney to quit FAI's charade. And you've also got a picture there of Raheem Sterling listening to the crowd. 5-star England, says the headline, as England win 5-1. You've also got this story here. Fogarty to join Farrell on Ireland's coaching ticket. So John Fogarty is set to link up with Andy Farrell's new look Ireland backroom team as scrum coach next season. That is, of course, when Farrell succeeds Joe Schmidt as Ireland head coach.
It's 7:58 this morning. You're watching off OTB AM on whatever platform or listening to us on offtheball.com. The back page of the Irish Independent this morning. Quinn called for change as crisis overshadows game. Ex-Irish striker wants Delaney exit as McCarthy focuses on Georgia. This is the first time that former players have come together and started, and I'm not even suggesting that they're acting in concert, but they've come out at the same time and said that they want a change and John Delaney to go. And given that John Delaney has already said that he's going a little bit, then it does feel like the pressure is not abating in any way. Canning in the clear for Galway. This is great news from Galway. Apparently what looked like a serious injury has ended up being a groin injury that Joe Canning is actually going to be okay, even though he was stretched off for the weekend. Leo Cullen confirming that Ireland want Fogarty as scrum coach. So Greg Feek is leaving to take up a job in Japan after the World Cup. Obviously, Feek has been synonymous with Ireland's success in the scrum in recent seasons, and it turns out that Leinster are looking at John Fogarty Ireland are looking at Leinster's John Fogarty to take that role up next.
The back page of the Herald this morning leads with "Licence to score. That's how my team will play," says Mick McCarthy. Delaney's FAI switch is a charade, says Niall Quinn, and Jeff Hendrick is quoted on the back page saying, "I want goals. He's aiming to step up tonight against Georgia."
The front of it's almost the same picture. Republic of Ireland versus Georgia. It's utopia playing well and winning. I mean, what are you fools? What? Imagine wanting to play well and win. Which, if I just want to say if Martin O'Neill had said that, I mean, Trapattoni would have said, "You're crap. You'll be lucky to win anything." Martin O'Neill would have been like, I mean, come on. He's plain speaking. Mick McCarthy is like, no, that can't happen. And everyone goes, oh, okay, fair enough, we understand it now. Mike Quirk, always interesting. Time to silence the PlayStation parenting overshadowing underage games. And then there's loads of other stories, including the one that Ron Nagara was on Off the Ball last night talking about. We'll play some of that a little bit later on. I just want to show you this as well. Gold Cup hero photo laps up attention at homecoming parade. Alboon photo in Loughlin Bridge in Carlow. Cheltenham Gold Cup winner Alboon photo paraded through Loughlin Bridge last night with the trainer Willie Mullins and the jockey Paul Townend, which is pretty special. Small towns like Loughlin Bridge becoming the epicentre of world racing for just a short little period of time kind of is the magic of something like the Gold Cup. Obviously the Mullins Yard is a massive, stratospherically brilliant and important yard, but at the same time the people of Loughlin Bridge got to share in their success.
The back page of the Irish Daily Star this morning leads with "Your time is up." Quinn calls Delaney move a charade. Mick McCarthy, meanwhile, is saying we'll serve up a treat tonight. And Davy Fitz has got his ban slashed. So he was initially banned for 12 weeks, labelled absolutely ludicrous by a leading Wexford official. And the suspension has now been reduced to 4 weeks. So he was hit with the proposed sanction after comments to Colin McAllister, the referee from Cork, after his handling of the Wexford League quarter-final defeat by Galway 10 days ago. So Wexford went to the hearing and they were successful. So Davy will be back in time for the championship.
Yeah, so Leo Cullen there again on the back page confirming that John Fogarty is a man in demand. The picture of James McLean looking unaffected by the Delaney controversy as he prepares for the visit of Georgia to the Aviva tonight. And then Delaney has to leave now, insists Hand. So Owen Hand also on Off the Ball last night, but Gary Dole seems to have spoken to himself, and he's talking about we need a thorough assessment of how the FAI is run. I believe John Delaney should go, but I also believe strongly in a process. So, that's now several former managers, former players coming out and saying that they want the Delaney era to end.
Your time is up, John, reads the back of the Mirror. Quinn says, I won't be the new chief as long as Delaney is lurking in the shadows. Forget FAI mess and get behind us, says Jeff Hendrick. FIFA give Blues hope to overturn transfer ban, then is another story here. So FIFA confirmed yesterday that an appeal hearing against the Blues 2-window transfer ban will be heard. And then race hate mob can't stop Ross. England 5, Montenegro 1. That's John Cross's story there from that particular match.
Surname ready to clash with Altior at Aintree, says Cobden. I presume I'm pronouncing surname right. I may not be. If I'm not, apologies for that. And then there's a picture of Alboon photo and the Gold Cup itself at the party in Loughlin Bridge in Carlow. And then back page, trouble in Dublin. Ooh, so the Racing Post thinks that we could be in for a difficult night tonight. There's been a suggestion Irish supporters could hold tennis ball protests at the Aviva Stadium tonight about issues involving the FAI. And those fans may also be unhappy with events on the pitch after Georgia have left Dublin. Screw you, Mark Langdon, telling us the truth about what might happen on the pitch tonight.
The back page of The Guardian goes with perfect 10. Barkley at the double in another 5-star win for Southgate's side. And you've also got the headline there for Mick McCarthy. Mick McCarthy's plea, Ireland fans urged to avoid Delaney protests tonight in Dublin. Yeah, and so a story there from last night, you might have missed it. Serbia and Portugal drew 1-1. England beat Montenegro 5-1, and obviously the match completely overshadowed by the racism. McIlroy could regain top spot if Stars align at match play. And then a picture of Joey Carberry. Van Gran expects Carberry and Murray to play key roles. So apparently Joey Carberry still has to prove his full fitness ahead of the weekend, but it looks like he will actually be able to play in the game against Edinburgh. And that is, obviously, there's match reports and match previews from the Ireland-Georgia game. Not that much on Delaney in the Irish Times that I can see this morning, certainly in the issue that we have. So no doubt there'll be more of that coming your way in just a little while. So there's the English papers, Daily Telegraph. Sterling silences the racists, and then comes out afterwards and explains exactly what happened in an excellent, meaningful contribution to what's going on. And as Owen said earlier on, we can't demand this of the players. I mean, you might be able to demand it from his teammates who aren't actually suffering the racist abuse to come out and stand up for him. Maybe they just weren't given the opportunity to. Certainly Gareth Southgate did a great job of it anyway afterwards. So, but they're calling for meaningful sanctions
on teams like Montenegro where this happens, because it's pretty clear what it is, and we keep hearing this, it's a cultural thing. That's not good enough. If sport is going to be an agent for change, then they've got to step in and say, okay, you're going to play all your games behind closed doors until you stop this racist chanting.
And how important, I wonder, is it from an FA perspective that they keep someone like Gareth Southgate in the job? Because given the social role inadvertently that the manager of the England team has and all the players have, and the job that Gareth Southgate is doing on this front, which is an exceptional job, I think it adds to the appeal of him as England manager. Of course, results are always going to be the one and only thing and the most important thing. But I'm sure the FA is looking at this appointment and is thinking to themselves,
we got a bit lucky.
We've done a pretty good job here.
We owe that pint of wine a pint.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to say that Sam Allardyce wouldn't step up and say the sort of thing after a game in Montenegro, but certainly it seems that Southgate is much more of a likely candidate to do so on a regular basis.
The quality of football they're playing, the way the whole country is unified behind them, the fact that Raheem Sterling has been given the confidence to become the leader that he has, I think part of that is all down to the management talent and ability of Southgate. Let's hear from some of the key characters. After they fell 1-0 down, England were brilliant in the aftermath, and as we mentioned, the game overshadowed by racist chants directed at some of their players. Here's what Raheem Sterling had to say after the game.
I just wanted to show them that you're going to need more than that to upset us and stop us. Because, what can I do? We know, all of us know what skin colour we are. So I don't know what the big issue is. It's not like you're telling us anything new. It's 2019 now, I keep saying it, and it's just it's a shame to see this keep going on. And it's just, we can only bring awareness to the situation and light to the situation. It's now time for the people that are in charge to put a real stamp on it, because, you can find someone, but what's that going to do? You've got to make it a bit more harder. You've got to punish either the whole fans that can't come to games. You've got to do something that's going to really make them think twice, because if their team can't play with fans, it's going to be difficult for them. So it's got to be something that you've got to make them think twice about. It's not just young black men, it's young kids growing up in diverse cities. It's not just black kids that I want to reach out to. It's England, we've got a diverse country, and it's 2019, as I keep saying, and there's a lot of different faces in our country, and it's just bringing awareness to let people know that this is new times, it's different.
Yeah, so Sterling actually said there that he hadn't heard them, but they were brought to his attention by one of his teammates. Another of his teammates who was very close to it was Callum Hudson-Odoi, the Chelsea teenager who was handed his first international start last night, who's obviously much closer to the racist chanting. Have a look.
Did you hear them? How does it impact you, and how does it make you feel about your teammates in 2019 that this is here on the top level of the game?
Yeah, I don't think discrimination should be anywhere, I think, as I said, we're equal. We have to play a fair game and enjoy the moment, but when you're hearing stuff like that from the fans, it's not right, it's unacceptable, and hopefully UEFA deal with it properly, because obviously when I went over there, me and Rosie heard it, they were saying ooh monkey stuff, so there's stuff that we have to just keep our heads, keep a strong mentality, and obviously hopefully Rosie's okay as well, and if anything we'll have a chat and discuss what happened, but he's got a strong mentality, he's a strong guy, so I think everything will be good. Hopefully UEFA do it.
And then here is Gareth Southgate also in the aftermath. Remember his team's just won 5-1. They've racked up 10 goals, 6 points. They've basically secured qualification after 2 games with 2 brilliant performances. Everybody knows now they're going to be the powerhouse in the group. But the thing that he wants to talk about and the thing that he's most focused on is the racism. So fair play to him. Have a listen.
It's difficult for me to know what the sanctions should be. It's not acceptable that it's still in the game, but it's not acceptable that it's still in society. And we're away from home, but I've said before we're not clear of this issue at home, and we've got to make sure our players are supported. We've got to put our own house in order at home, and we'll push for the right sanctions here.